And hey everyone, and welcome to Project Bring Me to Life. This is a podcast for those looking for spiritual enlightenment. We host musicians, poets, artists, writers, healers, guides, and leaders every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Tonight's show is sponsored by, let me get the picture up here. Tonight's show is sponsored by Shantastic Shine Sales, and once I get to picture, which is right here, where it's shine time all day. Use the code Project Bring Me to Life, which is one word, to get a 25% discount off any purchase at her website, www.shantasticshine.com, now through December. And I'm gonna take it back to my face. We also have a free giveaway of this beautiful, one-of-a-kind, handmade Tree of Life pendant, and that's going to be our free giveaway for today. So make sure you tune in. We're going to do that near the end of the podcast. So at 8:50, we will tell you how you can win that. Also, if you want to enter for a chance to win a walking stick or a magical wand, you go to projectbringmetolife.com and subscribe for updates, and that will be at the bottom of the page. So projectbringmetolife.com for that. Our beloved co-host is Nick Melnicki.
Hello.
And is Nick Melnicki, and our honored guest is musician, producer, and Starseed Ashton Robertson of Spaceship Earth.
Hello. Good to be with you guys.
Without any further ado, let's go ahead and welcome Ashton to the show. And Ashton, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. I wish I could hug you right now.
Yeah, me too. No, for serious though, thank you so much for all the help you've done with any of my podcasts that I've done before this. And to have you on as the very first guest of the show is very special. And I wouldn't want anybody else for the first show.
Oh, I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and begin with the questions. You produce music as well as play guitar.
Yes.
How would you describe the music that you play / make?
Well, I guess I could answer that in a lot of different ways because I like to make a lot of different kinds of music. But first of all, it's just electronic music. It's supposed to be inspiring, and I pour my heart into it. So I hope it's uplifting others. But it's electronic music with electric guitar, live electric guitar, and live improv. And from my perspective, it's pretty multi-dimensional. It's not really stuck in a genre. I like to use influences from across the world, from India, everywhere, from space to Earth. I just love it.
Yeah. What type of reactions do you usually get from the audience?
I've had a bunch of different reactions. It's a really good question. I've had people who like jam bands come up to me and tell me that, wow, I don't like electronic music at all, but I really like your music. And I have people who don't really like jam bands at all, but like, wow, I really like it when you're jamming up there, and like it really fulfilled like that little part of me that misses rocking out when I was 16. And I think bridging the gap between those two worlds with the live instruments and electronic music has helped me out. But I've had a few people come up to me after my shows crying and telling me, you know, it helped them find their true selves, help them fully open to their higher self, see their divine nature. I know you've joined me for a few shows with meditations, but I've had a few shows where people just will spontaneously meditate now, and that's always my favorite. That's one of my best favorite reactions, people intently listening.
I will say your music is very like higher vibrational, and it just naturally makes you want to meditate, and especially when you play the samples of people like doing what some people know as channeling and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
just it's very, very, very powerful, and meditating to it is a very special. It's just a very special thing to do, and a very special experience to share that with you.
Yes, same with me. It really takes me to a different place that I couldn't do with, silence or even a guided meditation. It's kind of like a different kind of guided meditation that is completely hopping on your frequency of like how great you feel that you put into the music. And it's funny, the only one show that I was at for that you played,
Yeah.
I just like meditated through the whole thing, and even though everyone else was like really energetic around me, it was so easy just to sit there and really go into myself and feel the heart that was put into that set.
Wow. Thank you.
Well, Ashton, last time I checked with you, you were doing an EP. You were working on an EP, and I believe an album. How is that going?
It's going really well. I've finished my EP. I am hoping to release it on September 24th. I just picked that day. It's going to be 6 songs, 2 remixes. One, they're both official remixes that the artist let me do, which is super exciting to be able to connect with Alice Space Doll and iTime Lab. They're both amazing people who let me work on their own. Like, they've just been chatting with me back and forth, so that's been a super awesome experience. The EP is called Contact, and the main album is called Interdimensional Passport. That'll hopefully be out beginning of November, maybe earlier, I'm not sure. But they're both going really well, and it's amazing to see like my whole life's work in one thing, and I think it's going to have a good effect on the world. I'm getting more confident about it every day.
Yeah, awesome. The fact that it's named Contact is very interesting, I feel, and we will get into that a little bit later.
Cool.
First, I just wanted to throw your website out there. If you want to find him on SoundCloud, it's soundcloud.com, Spaceship Earth Musics with an X. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, cool. And we will have the link for that on the YouTube page. Also, if you go to projectbringmelife.com, Ashton is the featured artist or the featured musician, so just click on that and it'll have all this information. So the next thing that I want to get into is how you got into producing music.
Okay. I started making music probably about 6th, 7th grade. My friend came over with a guitar and taught me a few songs, and I just kind of took off from there and played guitar. I was in a marching band in high school and symphonic band and jazz band, and at the same time I was in sports, and I always like to bridge worlds like that and be in different cliques or whatever. I never stuck to one crowd, but once I got to college, I started making my own bands, and I was the lead singer and guitar player, and it came to the point where I felt like my vision was being diluted. So I started making electronic music because I could play the drums and the bass parts, and everything really just clicked when I started making it by myself, going to festivals and being inspired by other artists from across the world, doing what I like to call organic electronic music, where I'm playing out every part and designing every sound, and trying to, if I use samples, have them come from like organic source, like from some other producer who collected it like on their handheld recorder. And I don't know, it was a very natural process for me. I've always loved music. Kind of just evolved into a project.
Whoa, what was that? Sounded like an avalanche.
I think it was from Ashton's mic.
Are you still there, Ash?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going
Okay. I don't know. Sending lots of love through the interwebs.
Oh, God. Beautiful. Well, let's move on to the next question then. What role does music play in your spirituality?
Ooh, man. Now it's become the foundation. I have a solid belief that, our universe is vibration and harmonic energy converging to create geometry, which creates matter. So I feel that whatever music you're listening to and making is going to create a little mini environment reality and pour out into the universe. People still listen to Bob Marley even though he's passed away, and it's changing the world still. So I'm hoping that my music and my spiritual beliefs can be one and one, and music always has been a spiritual practice for me. Since I was 12, listening to Incubus, didn't know anything about my higher self or anything. Music was there to show me how to feel and not how to think so much.
It's beautiful. So about around 8:50, we're gonna do the giveaway. So make sure you stay tuned to win this Flower of Life pendant that I made.
Yeah, I got one too. It's beautiful.
Yeah, even Ashton's rocking it. You know you want to.
Nice.
I personally made this one with the help of Shantesic Shine Sales, who is our sponsor. So if you like what we're doing here at Project Bring Me Life, make sure that you check out shantasticshine.com and help her out. And by helping her, you will also help Project Bring Me Life. And it's two amazing projects going on, so make sure you do that. 8:50 is the giveaway time, so stay tuned. The next question I had was, were you always a spiritual person?
In a way I was. I don't really think I had the words for it, which really makes me feel like I've always been a spiritual person. I always felt a little different. I never really understood why people had to argue and cause drama and that stuff as a kid. So I think going through that and reflecting and looking back at that, my spiritual self was always there. And I always aligned with more spiritual music than some other people, but now it's like the foundation of my life.
You also do quote-unquote channelings. Could you describe what a channeling is?
Yeah. Channeling is definitely a new agey word. I really like it though, and some people are resistant to the word. They feel, people are channeling things that could be bad or whatever, and we all have our own inner demons, and I think we channel those, but I think we're all always channeling all the time. Everyone, when they are just in their head and their imagination, you're channeling your dreams and your higher self. You're channeling your inner child. You're channeling. When people are actors, they can channel other people. So channeling doesn't have to be this big crazy word. I think it can be an everyday word that people can get used to. I don't know. Channeling is, I feel like when you're in the flow with your higher self, channeling is about that connection.
I've heard of people, maybe even myself, channeled what you would call, or what people on Earth would call, an extraterrestrial, or somebody from a different planet than Earth. Do you have any experience with channeling ETs?
Yeah, I've had some close encounters. I've had some really close connection with the Pleiades and Arcturus, Sirians, Orions.
I think
There's a lot out there.
Nick knows a little bit about what was the one you Arcturus?
Yeah, it was. They're just more building blocks based, like having the knowledge first and then implementing the knowledge into other avenues, but really figuring out the building blocks that you hold for the beliefs or the feelings that you're using or speaking about.
So I guess it's not in my questions, but I did want to touch on the term starseed. Ashton, what information do you have about the term starseed?
For me, it all starts with a group of souls that came in this time to incarnate, to help change the world, raise its vibration, put in better, more sustainable systems and institutions. It doesn't have to be like you're coming from some crazy galactic civilization, even though most of us are. It's kind of like we chose to be here now. And if you feel like you want peace in the world when all you've seen is drama, then you're a starseed. If you want love to be spread through yourself and through others, then you're a starseed. Everyone, in a sense, can be a starseed, but it's also everyone isn't a starseed, and a very specific group of souls who are very well trained came here now to help, I think, awaken the world. But in the end, it's easy to get identified and attached to that, so I think it's good to use discernment with the word and not get too like, I'm an alien, I don't want to be on Earth. It's the opposite. It's like we came here to be on Earth and be a human.
Yeah. And
I must ask you a question.
Yes.
Mustache.
We're gonna do that one later. Jeez.
You can use it so many times. That's how great it is. Do only starseeds in the description that we just had, are they the only ones able to feel this way, feel these ways, and have these desires or have these abilities such as channeling?
No, I think that's the natural state of being. Every human, every animal is, you want love, you want to see love, you want to feel love, and you want to see unity in the world. But the one symptom of feeling like you're not from here, maybe everyone won't feel that because maybe they are from here. I don't know. But at the same time, everyone could have that feeling because none of us are from here. All of us are from, I like to call it the land of souls. All of us are souls. We're not humans, so you're not exactly from the Pleiades. You're from something much higher than that.
Yeah, I like that one.
But let's say the Pleiades work as sort of like a tree of life, like a path to follow from the fractalization of everything. So it starts with the center, and then it like fractals off into maybe 5 pieces or whatever. It's like kind of like a map.
Yeah.
And before Earth, do you have an idea of where your soul was?
I believe my soul chose to come to Earth. It's hard to say that I was like on the Pleiades or Arcturus or Orion or. I feel like my souls come from all of them, and I have a lineage. Our souls are eternal, and I feel connections with all of them. I think all of us have really been everywhere, but I've had a past life regression done with a professional past life lady, and I saw myself on the Pleiades directly before this life.
You wanna explain a little bit more about that experience?
Yeah, that was super awesome. One of the craziest experiences of my life. My friend had been telling me about past lives, and I believe in it, but never had any big experiences. And we go to this guided meditation, and this lady has us, simply close our eyes. We imagine. I chose to be like a bird, walking and flying, and we're supposed to see the light at the end of our environment in our mind's eye, and just so you project into your heart, and once you get there, there's a door that she has you imagine, and for me there was like a hallway that was infinitely long, and I was about to open door like 42 when I felt something tap on the back of my shoulder, and I saw this door said the Pleiades, and I had seen that word a million times, but really never looked that much into it. And so I open this door, and I'm projected into this world where I see myself in this futuristic building that's ergonomically shaped, and I have blue skin and braids and dreads, and I'm just kind of watching this all like it's happening on a movie screen, and I see myself playing with a kid of oxygen, very beautiful, futuristic, but in tune with nature at the same time. And I'm holding this pamphlet of papers that says Battleship Earth, and it goes on to just like I start getting all this download of information talking about. This is before I even came up with the word Spaceship Earth, but Battleship Earth. This pamphlet was like the institutions of Earth, such as like the government, the economic, the schooling, pretty much all the institutions on Earth are enslaving the people on Earth, and I had formulated this plan to go around galaxy to galaxy to find other like-minded souls who wanted to incarnate now, and it's so intense. It's like the heart of who I am now, and it's hard to tell people because it just kind of happened to me, and I never really expected it. But we all came here on this cosmic mission, I believe, and this pamphlet, get into a box and transport my consciousness through this box over to Earth and then into my mom. So it's like I chose my parents.
No. So that's how you incarnated on Earth?
Yeah, apparently that's yep, that's what I saw.
And you were this giant blue figure with dreads.
Yeah, it seemed like I was like 6'5", maybe 7 feet. But
Avatar.
it sounds exactly like the opposite of Avatar.
Exactly like the opposite of it.
In a sense, I think my imagination was kind of playing with that idea. I don't know. I kind of reflect back and see the ties between that, and I think what I saw was like a conglomeration, like a big metaphor for what actually happened, which was kind of hard to see, but pretty much that.
So
maybe that's why the movie Avatar is the way it is.
Yeah, that was
I agree.
And I can't wait for the sequel. What I kept thinking about while you're talking was I was reading this short story, and it was talking about a different world in a different galaxy, and this shaman was speaking to just a group of people surrounding him, and he was offering them a chance to go on this mission. And he said, what's going to happen when you go on this mission is you're going to forget who you are, you're going to forget where you come from, you're going to forget why you're there, and your mission there is basically just to remember everything and to kind of lead the planet back onto the path of basically spiritual enlightenment, which is kind of what I'm trying to do with Project Bring Me to Life. Is like we're trying to reawaken everybody to their spiritual purpose, and why they're here on Earth and where they came from, and what their mission is. So just like hearing you talk about that story reminded me of that story, and it seems like you were like you decided to go on that journey to Earth and to forget everything and to have some kind of fun experience to go through, forgetting completely everything that you went through. Just completely forget everything. And so it's just very interesting, and I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was pretty interesting.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, back on track to the questions. The next one I have is, well, what I was talking about channelings, and I was going to ask what led you to start channeling the Pleiades or whoever else you channel.
After coming across a bunch of awesome channelers, I don't know, it just kind of cracked open, I would say, my brain as like a radio tuner to be able to pick up different stations, and every once in a while I would get guidance, and when I decided to write it down, I had about 2 or 3 really clear channels that came through just when I wrote them down. But more and more, it's just pretty much I'm like in constant communication with my guides and my higher self, and my intuition's always just kind of telling me where to go next once I tune up and tune in, and I get clear guidance more and more.
So you use channeling as basically like a way to follow the path?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I work through my imagination to create a bridge with my higher self, and so I feel like any being I'm channeling is an aspect of me. There's no separation. There's no like I'm like, oh, like I don't even know how to explain it. I just feel like I am one with anything that comes through channeling, whether it be seemingly positive or negative. Because if it's something negative, it's something I'm working through myself, and I can have a chance to clear it if I go through it.
Yeah. For some people who are more, I'd say, like Christian-based in their spirituality, they might not resonate with the idea of like a Pleiadian trying to communicate telepathically with somebody.
Yeah.
But for those who are more religious-based, that's okay. But to help you understand, thinking about, say, a guardian angel, like Archangel Raphael or whatever, is it's very similar to a Pleiadian, or somebody who's more developed and more evolved and able to like project more spiritual belief systems.
That's awesome. So true.
I was actually I looked at my recorder yesterday, and I found a channeling of Archangel Raphael and a channeling of Archangel Jophael.
Yeah.
And, the ones doing the channeling was actually Nick Manlicki and myself. So I was gonna ask Nick, how was your experience through that channeling process?
It was like I was just connected with every person in that room that we were in there with, and just letting go of all of the thoughts or preconceived notions or trying to, bring through a specific message or any kind of thing that was related to anything that I've experienced, and being in the presence of people who are similar to that and are open to bringing through information that a logical mind wouldn't be able to conceive of. it just allowed, you know, like Ashton was saying, that channel, that radio station to be open, and for all of the other radio stations to be closed. And it just seemed like it was a clear, it seemed like it was a thought process that I was completely aware of where it was going, and I just let it flow into, you know, where it was going. And it was, you know, like sometimes it would come through me, sometimes it would come through you, sometimes I would be guided to ask you a question or to send you a specific feeling, and then every single time I would send you a feeling, you know, you would reciprocate without even knowing that I sent you that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, it's mind-boggling, because right now, you know, I'm using my logical brain to describe this, but it doesn't even do any justice at all. It's just something that, you know, we must let go and just allow something like that to happen, because as soon as we start labeling it or defining it, we're limiting ourselves, because the logical part of the brain is like, oh, I'm going to define this, and this is what this means, but we, you know, we really can't know, because we're not that right now. We're in a human body, but we have the capacity to do all these great things.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. Ashton,
Yeah.
a lot of people, like myself, we like to go through a process before we channel, kind of like getting into a state of meditation. What does your process look like when you are going to start that?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Sometimes it can be just an inward, like one breath. It can be just a shift of awareness from my thinking mind back into my light body and my energy and my physical body, grounding myself and just kind of listening, expanding my vibration to meet that higher vibration. I don't know, I guess I go through a series of like eradicating beliefs where I'll use discernment to make sure I'm getting the truth rather than just like my egoic, like, I don't know, whatever the ego says, you know, and letting that fade and letting the truth come through. And not shutting that door. Just, it's like opening a door with silence and like sometimes a flood, or sometimes it'll be a little mouse. Sometimes it'll be silence. Sometimes guidance can come through outside of you on some, like literally in my house right now, below, right where I live, is just the business is called Miracle Signs. So it's literally like this metaphor of like signs are all around you, and they're miraculous. And now I'm literally living on top of a place called Miracle Signs. So the more you allow spirit to come through, and I just feel like people would be surprised how clear and direct the message will be when you're just driving down the street. It'll be like, do this. And they might brush it aside as, wow, that was weird, and I don't know. It's crazy how guidance can come through.
Is it more of like a letting go for you, or is it more of a putting feelings in a certain place, or just trying to go to a certain place, or is it just a completely, you know, disembodied kind of thing?
I feel really grounded when I do it. It feels kind of like an attention and a focus towards a specific energy or vibration, or usually I don't channel like a specific entity. I just go straight to like my higher self. I mean, sometimes things will come through of like my personal guides or something, but it's become very unified, and I feel like it's kind of like a looking, like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. For me too.
That's awesome.
So we got around 10 minutes before we do the Flower of Life pendant giveaway. So just
Nice.
hang in there for about 10 more minutes, and we're going to do that. So actually, I think right now, if you have, this is how you're going to win this pendant right here. The way you can win this is whoever posts the first question for Ashton and includes a shipping address will receive this free pendant. So send your questions to bringmetolifeproject@gmail.com. BRINGMETOLIFE@gmail.com. So the first person who sends a question for Ashton with their shipping address will receive this. So go ahead and do that now, and we will announce the winners in about 10 minutes. Yeah, so
Nice.
this is all great information, yeah. When you're talking about when you're like, you'll drive by and you'll see a sign that will be like, do this.
Yeah.
The way that I perceive that is like that's like a guardian angel or just a guardian sending you a message. Because a lot of people, they will pray and pray and pray and ask for God to give them signs, and it's kind of like they're in what's that movie with Jim Carrey and Morgan Freeman?
Truman Show.
Bruce Almighty.
No.
Bruce Almighty.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Bruce Almighty, right. Bruce Almighty, he's praying, he's like, God, please give me these signs. And there's a truck right in front of him, and it says, like, danger, like, do not pass. And he's, like, ignoring it completely because he's so, like, depressed and he's in such a low vibration that he can't see what's right in front of his face. Like, God is doing that right in front of his face and ignoring it completely. And that's when he hits the bottom. He, like, drives into a truck. Everything's done. And then all of a sudden, like, he meets God. So, like, if you are praying, if you're praying for a sign for something, if you're praying to God, if you're praying to Source, if you're praying to your higher self or a guardian angel, and you ask them to give you a sign, they will give you a sign. But make sure that you have an open mind and you're observing your reality. Because if you are not existing in the now reality, if you're thinking about something in the future or something in the past, you're totally going to miss it. You have to be mindful of the present moment to get those signs that you're asking for.
Exactly.
So stay focused on the moment and be open to receiving signs, especially if you ask for it.
And it can come through in so many ways. It doesn't just have to be a physical thing. It can come through in a random feeling you never got before, or a random thought about something that you're familiar with that you never had before, or any kind of weird experience that would be defined as a synchronicity to some people.
And I was at a music festival once, just walking down the path, and this guy was like, "Hey, free circles over here." And like, none of my other friends heard him or paid attention to him or noticed, but I kind of heard it out of the corner of I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and I heard him. It's like, I'm stopping. I feel like this is like an opportunity or something. And because I listened, was being present, and my mind was still, and I was open, this guy like invites us to play this music festival. He had all these free things at his camp. We ended up chilling with him for a few hours, and he was one of the coolest people we met all weekend. And it was,
Nice.
I feel like it was because, you know, I was present enough and paying attention enough in the moment, because, you know, no one else was. Everyone else was mindlessly thinking or whatever, and I was like just very like in my body. And sometimes those opportunities are like a door that's like cracked open just like that much, and you have to be paying attention, otherwise it'll just pass you by.
Yeah. That's so good.
I always say free circles now. I'm like, free circles!
What does that mean? I want to find out.
What does that mean? So, if you guys could see that, this is the email address to win the pendant. So, whoever sends in the first question for Ashton to this Gmail account will win this free Flower of Life pendant, which is a $20 value. So send in your question, and I'm going to check that, and whoever sends in the first one will win that. And if nobody sends in a question, then I will, I don't know, something else will happen. So we do have a few more questions before we start the the mustache.
I wear my mustache.
I see you with a lot. What's that?
Oh, just saying I wore my mustache for
that. Your beard is bushy.
Save some, man. I can't even grow any.
I will.
Like more and more bushy and more full each time I see you. A lot less patchy than the last time you grew it out. Oh. Okay, so my next question was, I see you holding pictures with crystals. You post pictures on your Facebook with you holding crystals. Do you believe in the healing powers of crystals?
I really do. Crystals are something that really found me. I never really seek them out. It was something other people showed me and taught me. I was always into meditation, and I went to a crystal shop one day when I was out in California, and this lady, she gave me this blue kyanite, and she was saying, this crystal has palpable energy that you can feel. You can, it helps heal your body and align your chakras and all these crazy new things I was hearing. And I remember sitting down and feeling this crystal and being blown away in chills, like I had palpable physical responses, which I was like, what's up with that? That's intense. And once I learned everything is electromagnetic energy and how the crystal's energy is essentially perfect, giving you that resonance to resonate off of, I love having them around me now. I believe in the power of crystals not only spiritually but literally. With computers and watches, crystal technology has exploded our entire culture. We wouldn't have TV, we wouldn't have anything without crystals. I don't think people realize that.
Beautiful. What's your favorite crystal, if you have one?
I really like spirit quartz or porcupine quartz, celestite. This is a clear, double terminated clear quartz I got from Rootwire Music and Art Festival like 4 years ago. Tried this one the longest. This guy's definitely up there as my top favorites, but I don't know. I've seen like watermelon tourmaline. There's a bunch of crazy ones popping up every day. And there's some good ones. I feel like they're my best friends, Chris.
Yeah.
It's been super fun learning how to cleanse crystals and activate.
Would you say that? Yeah. For those who know about the full moons, you can put your crystals out during the full moon and have them cleansed. And next Tuesday is actually a full moon, so be prepared for that. We actually got a question from somebody, so
nice.
I'm really excited because we actually have a question. Yeah.
Yes.
The first one that I got was from Melissa Lipscomb. You know this person?
What's her last name?
Lipscomb?
No, maybe I do though.
Okay, you just sounded really excited there, so I was just wondering.
It is exciting.
It is very exciting. This is my first.
We're so excited.
That somebody has sent in. We've never had an audience member send in a question for our guest, so I believe you can understand our excitement. So, without any further ado, Melissa Lipscomb from Huntington, West Virginia asks, Ashton, what type of feeling do you receive when you are in the same physical plane or the same physical space as others like you?
Oh man,
A good one.
it feels like a mix between like a small kitten and like
Small kid.
just like really excited and really relaxed at the same time. I
Yeah,
feel
that's perfect.
That is so. I love kids. Sorry.
my physical body just feels great. That's what I can really tell is like, I'm just gonna relax. It feels like a big fluffy cloud.
Very cool. Do you pronounce Eckhart's name as Eckhart Tolle or Eckhart Tolle?
I've always said Tolle. I don't
Okay.
know though.
I
Pass
say
the
Toll, but I don't really say it that much anyways.
Somebody else I knew said Tolle too, and I kept saying Eckhart Tolle, and they're like, it's Tolle.
You should get him on the show and ask him yourself.
You know, we will definitely. I have a good feeling. So, why I bring that up is because Eckhart Tolle, I like that. Yeah, there's this quote that I read, and it said, I know like 6 ascended masters, or I know like 6 Zen masters,
Yeah.
and they're all kittens.
Yeah, they're all cats.
Yeah.
I've read that one before.
So we actually have another question. This one is from Ashley
nice.
Nicole. Yeah, and her question
Nice.
was, what was your favorite song to write?
Another good one.
That's exciting. I have quite a few songs to release. The favorite one to write was I made this track with my friend Skywalker and Steve and our space dog, and we sat down and each came up with different ideas, and we ended up building this song completely from the ground up, 100% organic, where it started off with one day I was just walking by my bathtub and the water was just dropping like so I recorded that, and we went on the woods and recorded a bunch of birds, and then we took this croaking toad and transformed it into this swampy synth.
Nice.
So for me, the songs that are the most fun are where I've taken field recordings from different places and put them into the song, because like I have a song where CeeLo was at my house playing ukulele, and while I was making it, I was like, hey, like, let me record you really quick, and I ended up putting him in the song, and now every time I play that song, I feel like you're right there. So
really?
those little recordings are, for me, my favorite, because I feel like the energy is embedded in this song.
Yeah.
I think it's so fun.
Really beautiful. So we're coming up towards the end of the podcast, and now if you all go ahead and don your mustaches, what we're going to do is we each get one question to ask whoever we want to, each other or somebody in the audience or whoever you want to, and we're just going to have the mustaches on, and then say, I mustache you a question, and then ask whoever you want to. And so if I can find the effect button, if I can get my mustache on. Where's my mustache at?
Yeah, I don't think my camera is good enough.
Can you turn the effects on? Because for some reason my
I did before we started.
Yeah, I turned it off because I didn't want it like messing up while we were doing it. Because it's not on my thing. I can't open it. Oh, here it is. My bad.
Yeah, I opened it.
Nice.
Sweet. Uh,
Can I draw it on you?
Oh,
no. I've seen what you've drawn before. Okay. Bam.
Also, to properly answer that last question, the name of that song was Heliopolis, which will be on the album Interdimensional Passport, which
So
comes
that'd
out in
be
November.
well.
I can't find the mustache.
Nice.
Well, I have my
I think I
mustache.
did it.
That's not a mustache. Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. So, Ashton, why don't you go ahead and you go first.
Okay. Let me get a good question.
I'll go last because I'll think of a good one.
All right. CeeLo, I must ask you a question. Who was your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
So good. I was thinking about. I'm not sure if it was Raphael, but it was the purple one.
Ooh, good choice.
Does anybody know who the purple one is?
Is that Donatello?
Yeah,
No,
it is.
Donatello's red. I thought Donatello was red.
I thought he was purple.
I think, yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Well, the purple one.
I can't
Yeah,
remember all the names.
he was Donatello. It's purple, dude.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah. Good guess.
Nice.
Gotta eat my own ego. Nom.
So tasty.
Okay. Nikki, I must ask you a question.
Yes.
What is your favorite pastime?
Like in terms of an activity?
Yeah, like a hobby. What's your favorite hobby?
It's always been hockey for me, but in terms of not a sport, going into the woods and just letting go of all of the thoughts that have been plaguing my mind. And for me, plague is a very good description. But yeah, just go into the woods, whether it's climb some trees or have a picnic or play ukulele or just spend some time with my dog. Nothing can beat it. That alone time, so good.
So good, so good. So good. Okay, it's your turn.
Oh man. What?
Oh, I lost my mustache.
Oh, that's so funny. With hearing. For both of you, I have a question.
Okay.
When
Nice.
you are you're furthest away from your best feeling, when you're at the depths of your being, when you're your most depressed or whatever kind of label may be put on it, what has always been the saving grace to return to feeling awesome all of the time? And you can't say music because that's a given.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'll start with CeeLo first.
Okay. Hi guys. There's been an abundant amount of times where I've gotten really sad and really depressed and kind of lonely, or just really in an angry mood, and I go and sit by myself, and usually I'll try and if I'm outside, if I'm at an event somewhere, if I'm not home, I'll if I'm not outside already, I'll go outside and I'll just sit by a tree, because I communicate with trees very well, and they're so wise and so so gentle usually, and I put my hand on the tree and I like talk to the tree, and it helps me through a lot of things. Um, if I'm inside at home and I have my computer next to me, I would probably like look at a video of kittens or a video of the Detroit Lions.
Big game.
Big game.
Big game.
Big game.
Sir
Yeah, that's a good
Ashton.
response. For me, pretty similar. If I'm inside, I usually will try to find some sort of inspiring spiritual teacher or something, watch some video to re-inspire myself. For me, it can be as simple as taking a breath, though. Usually, I'm suffering the most when I'm not breathing. I'm not conscious of my own breath. Creates that gap in your thinking, and I personally feel it's generally your thoughts about a situation that make you suffer, not the situation itself. So if I can create that gap and kind of, see the light in the dark situation, it usually helps. But anything around like eating something I love or going outside or being silly.
Awesome.
Nice.
Cool. Dude, this is so much fun.
Heck yeah.
Thank you guys.
This is so much fun.
Well, that concludes our segment. I mustache you a question.
Yeah, I need a better camera to participate, I think.
I have a camera that I'll bring to you, Nick.
No, you've already given me too much stuff.
Not true. Consider it like a gift for my co-host.
Oh, okay. I'll take it then.
Awesome. I would like to go ahead and officially thank Ashton for being on the podcast. Make sure you check out his links for Spaceship Earth and check out his music because it is so good.
It's so good.
So good. So Ashton, thank you.
Thank you.
From the
Thank
bottom
you.
of-
Absolutely. It was an honor to come on.
Yeah, it was an honor
Absolutely,
to
love
have
you guys.
Hey.
A true co-creation.
Yeah, that's for sure. This is what co-creation is, coming together and talking about things that isn't always in front of you, what people are doing, at their 9-to-5 job, all that, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Nicky, for being the co-host. I really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for including me.
Yeah, definitely. You're always like, let's do podcast. And for so long, I was just like, oh, I wanted to be ready, but I wasn't ready. And so when I finally started to like get ready for this again, I was automatically like, I should have a co-host named Nick Mulnicky.
Was that channeled information?
That was channeled from my true loving compassion.
Nice.
I would also like to go ahead and give a thank you out to Shantastic Shine Sales, our sponsor.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
Yay.
Love her so much.
Dude, me too. And seriously, like without her, this podcast would not have gotten started. She's helped me with the podcast, with my website. She's given me studio space and time to do this podcast. She helped me get the website. She's given up free stuff for the podcast, and there's a lot of really amazing things coming from Shine Time. So everybody, go ahead and check out her website, shantasticshine.com.
Hey, again, was there something else viewers could earn if they did something with subscribing or something like that?
Yep. Yeah, just make sure you go ahead and check out her website because it's awesome.
Yes.
What they could also win is actually a walking stick or a wand, and if you want to enter for a chance to win one of these wands that I have up, go ahead and visit our website, projectbringmetolife.com. Scroll to the bottom, enter your email, and subscribe to our website, and we will send you more information on how you can win one of these beautiful pieces. And with that, I only want to say thank you to the audience, because this is very, very amazing thing, and just like the reason that we do it is really for the audience, and to help people with their own paths, and to share this information with everybody. So audience, thank you so much, and that's why we wanted to give out some free stuff, and because we completely love our audience, and we love you guys so much. So honored that you guys would listen to ourselves talk. So thank you guys, and tune in next week. Next Tuesday is the full moon, and we're actually going to have Shantastic Shine, our sponsor, is actually going to be featured on a next week's show. So go ahead, tune into that. It'll be Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So again, thank you guys for being on the show, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Love you.